Namaste. So I'm going to read Book 2, Chapter 3, on the description of the curse on Ganga, Mahabhisha and Vasus. Om Vakratuna Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvighna Kurma Sankara. Om Ekadantaya Vakratuna. Om Gam Ganapati Om Gam Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Guru Sakshi Devi Sarvabhuteshu Vidya Vinna Samshra Namaste Mata Vidya Pradani Mata says The Rishi said, O sinless Sutta, you have described to us in detail the birth of Vyasa, of unrivaled fire, and of Satyavati. We have one great doubt in our minds, though, O knower of Dharma, which is not being removed by your words, O sinless one. First, as regards the mother of Vyasa, the all-auspicious Satyavati, we have this doubt how she came to be united to the virtuous Shantanu. The king Shantanu of the family of Puru is a greatly religious man. How could he have married Satyavati, knowing her to be a fisherman's daughter and born of a low family? Now say, who was the first wife of Shantanu, and how Bhishma, the intelligent son of Shantanu, came to be born of the parts of Vasu. O Sutta, you have told before that Bhishma, of indomitable valor, made the Satyavati's son, the brave Chitrangada, king, and subsequent to his death made his younger brother Vichitravirya king. But when the elder brother Bhishma, the greatly religious and beautiful, was present, how was it that Chitraganda and Vichitravirya, having been installed by Bhishma himself, could have reigned? Again, at the demise of Vichitravirya, Satyavati became very much grieved and got two sons born of her two sons' wives by Vedavyasa. How can we explain this fact? Why did she do this? Why did she not give to Bhishma the kingdom? Why did Bhishma not marry? And how was it that the elder brother of Vyasa, the indomitable valor, did such an religious act as to beget two Goloka sons from the wives of the brothers? Vyasa composed the Puranas and knew everything of religion. How then did he go to others' wives, especially of his brothers' wives? O Sutta, why did Vyasa Deva do such a hateful act in spite of his being a Muni? The actions of Vedas are inferred from their subsequent good conducts. How can this act of Vyasa be calculated as one amongst them? O intelligent one, you are the disciple of Vyasa. Therefore, you are the best man to solve our doubts. We all of this Dharmakshetra Naimi Saranya are very eager to hear this. At this, Sutta said, in ancient days there reigned a king named Mahabhisha, the family of Iksaku, endowed with all the qualities of a great king. He was the foremost of all the kings, truthful and religious. That highly intelligent king performed 1,000 horse sacrifices, Asvamedas, 100 Vajapaya sacrifices, and thereby satisfied Indra, the king of the Devas, and went to heavens. Once, on an occasion, that king went to the abode of Brahma. The other gods also went there to serve Prajapati. The great river Ganga Devi too, assuming the feminine form, went to Brahma to serve him. Now, in the interval, violent winds arose and the clothing of Ganga Devi went off. At this, the Devas did not look at her, rather kept their faces downwards. But the king Mahabisha continued gazing at her. Ganga also came to know the king and that he had become attached to her. Brahma, seeing that both of them are love-stricken and are shameless, became angry and cursed them immediately. O king, you better take your birth again in the human world and practice great virtuous deeds and come again to this heaven. Thus saying, Brahma looked at Ganga, who was attached to the king, and addressed her. You too better go to the human world and become his wife. Both of them, the king as well as Ganga, came out of Brahma's abode, very much grieved in their hearts. The king Mahabisha, though of coming to this world, and reflected on the kings thereof, and settled to make the king Pratipa of Puru's family his father. At this time, the 8 Vasus with their wives, wandering in various places and enjoying as they liked, came to the hermitage of Vashishta. Amongst the aforesaid 8 Vasus, Prithu and others, one Vasu, Dayu's wife, seeing Nandini, the sacrificial cow, Kamadhenu, and Vashishta, asked her husband, Whose in this excellent cow that I see? Whose is this excellent cow that I see? Vasu then replied as follows, O beautiful one, this is Vashishta's cow. Whoever, be he a man or woman, drinks her milk gets his longevity extended to 10,000 years, and his youth never ends. Hearing this, the Vasu's wife said, There is a very beautiful comrade, Saki, of mine, the daughter of the Rajasi Usina, in the world, of auspicious qualities. O Mahabhaga, kindly bring to me from Vashishta's hermitage that auspicious sacrificial milk cow, Nandini, together with her calf that yields all desires. My Saki will then drink her milk and be thereby free from disease, old age, and become the chief amongst all mankind. Hearing thus his wife's words, the Vasudhyayu, though sinless, stole away together with Prithu and the other Vasus, the cow Nandini, in utter defiance to the self-controlled Muni Vashishta. When the cow Nandini had been stolen, the great ascetic Vashishta came quickly to the hermitage with abundance of fruits. The ascetic Muni Vashishta, not finding in his hermitage his cow with her calf, searched for her in many forests and caves. But he, the son of Varuna, could not find out his cow even after prolonged searches. He then took recourse to meditation and came to know that the Vasus had stolen the cow and became angry. He expressed, When the Vasus have stolen this, my cow, in utter defiance to myself, they must be born amongst men. When the religious Varuna's son Vashishta thus cursed the Vasus, they became very sorry and absent-minded. All of them went to Vashishta's hermitage and saw him there. They began to supplicate him as much as they could, and took refuge under him. Seeing the Vasu standing before him in an extremely distressed condition, the virtuous Muni Vashishta said, You all will be free from the curse within 1 year. But the Vasudhyayu will dwell amongst men for a long, long period, as he had stolen direct my Nandini with her calf. While the Vasus thus cursed were returning, they saw on the way the chief river Ganga, Devi, and also cursed and therefore distressed. All of them bowed down to her simultaneously and said, O Devi, a serious thought is troubling our minds. How can we who live on nectar take our birth in human wombs? So, best river, you better be a woman and give birth to us, O sinless one. You better be the wife of the sage King Shantanu. And no sooner we be born of your womb, kindly throw us in the river Ganga, your water. If you do thus, O Ganga, we will certainly be freed of our curse. Ganga Devi replied, Well, that will be thus spoken the Vasus went to their respective places, and Ganga Devi too, thinking on the subject again and again, went out of that place. At this time, Mahabhisha became born as the son of the king Pratipa and became known as Shantanu. He was exceedingly religious and true to his promise. One day, while the king Pratipa was praising the Surya Devi, the sun of unequaled energy, Ganga Devi assumed an extraordinarily beautiful feminine form and came out of the waters and sat on the right thigh, resembling like a sal tree of the king Pratipa. The sage king Pratip spoke out to the lady sitting on his right thigh thus, O beautiful faced one, why, unasked, have you sat on my auspicious right thigh? The lovely Ganga then replied, Hear why I have sat here. O best of Kurus, O king, becoming attached to you, I have sat on your thigh, so please accept me. At this, the king Pratipa spoke to the beautiful lady, full of youth and beauty. I never go simply out of passion to another's wife. There's another point. You have sat on my right thigh. That is the seat of sons and sons' wives. So, when my desired son will be born, you will then be my son's wife. And certainly, by your good will, my son will be born. The lady of divine form said, Well, that will be done, and went away. The king returned to his palace. Thinking of the lady, after some time, he had a son born to him, and when the son attained his teens, the king desired to lead a forest life and communicated this matter to his son. He said also, If the aforesaid beautifully smiling girl comes to you to marry, then marry her. And I am also ordering you not to question her anything, who are you, and so forth. If you take her as your legal wife, you will certainly be happy. Thus saying to his son, the king Pratipa handed over all his kingdom to his son and gladly retired into the forest. The king practiced tapasya in the forest and worshipped Ambika. When quitting his mortal coil, he went by his sheer merit to the heavens. The highly energetic king Shantanu, when getting his kingdom, began to administer justice according to the laws of Dharma and govern his subjects. Thus ends the third chapter on the second skanda, on the description of the curse on Ganga, Mahabhisha, and Vasus in the Mahapuranam, Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses. Om Jayanti Mangala Kali, Bhadra Kali Kapali, Durga Kashma Shivati Swaswa. Om to